Chief.
How long have you guys been here?
Sunday.
Since Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. How do you feel? Outstanding, enthusiastic. Well, did anybody here to attend the panel this morning, the panel discussion? What stood out to you?
I saw a lot of people who genuinely care.
Okay.
Whenever we brought it up, people wanted to talk about it.
Anybody follow the Air Force? Anybody Facebook? Anybody on Facebook? Anybody follow the Air Force Wingman outreach page? Yeah. What are they saying? What are our airmen saying? Okay, so whether you're on the page or not, what are our airmen saying in response to this? So General Goldfield and I, we came out and said, hey, we need to do this resilience tactical pause. And in response to that, the airmen started talking. Like, so what are they saying?
Sergeant the 344th Recruiting Squadron. On the page, a lot of people are they're breaking out and kind of starting their own like grassroots programs. Like they're inviting people to start clubs and groups to get together in their base. I've seen a lot of that. And a lot of people didn't value their time to sit down and just talk about testimony and how people got to break through their problems. Stuff like that.
So forget about social media or anything. Just tell me what are our airmen saying?
Chief, Sergeant Rockachino, Rear Team Recruiting Squadron. What our airmen are saying on that page is that we're human beings and everybody got something going on. Everybody's got something going on in their lives that they want to talk about and they find a way to express it. So that's giving them a platform to speak out and seek out for that help without feeling resentment or fear running it up the chain of command.
What are our airmen saying?
Sergeant Carter, the recruiting squadron. Some of the airmen that I talked to, they tend to get in their groups anyway. So when you work out for these resiliency days, they're funneled into groups that they may not necessarily feel as comfortable in to divulge stuff. So they'll kind of part ways and end up at the end of the day when you come and get together, you'll kind of see who they really are comfortable with talking to. So we've kind of highlighted those individuals to make them the point of contact for like certain things that you may going on. So that's what I've seen.
What are they saying?
Sergeant gives classifications. I've been hearing that the Air Force is more reactive than proactive. They wait till things happen to say if they would have came to me, we would have helped them. Versus if they would have came, they get backlash for that.
What are they saying?
Sir, Sergeant Love, 314th Recruiting Squadron, they're saying that they need help, and we're not giving them all the help that they need just yet. We need to get better at that.
So this is gonna be fun. Y'all recruiters, y'all used to talk. You just listen. That's what they're saying. They're saying it in all different ways. But what they're saying is they need help. saying they want your help. They're saying they want to connect. And they're saying it in a way they know how to say it. Not the way you want them to say it. Not the way that you learned how to say it. Our problem is we spend so much time and we stay so busy judging them. Just listen. Just listen. Yes, they're different from you. Yes, they're different from me in some ways. Yes, they communicate differently. Yes, they have some challenges connecting socially. But shit, so do some of you. Y'all as old as me. I don't care if you were born yesterday or if you were born 49 years ago like me. I had shy, introverted people who couldn't connect, who didn't like coming out of their room. I had that back when I came in. So what I want to tell you is, man, these airmen, they are crying out for your help. Whatever you think you're doing, let's just talk about it. So who feels like, hey man, I'm there for them. I'm responding to them. I'm taking care of business. I'm being the NCO that they expect of me. Okay, so clearly that's a problem. Now I can just let that go, Williams. Why not? Like that's a fundamental. I'm an NCO, airmen are crying out. It's my job to respond, to take care of them. And when I said, hey, who feels like they're doing what they're supposed to do, one hand went up.
Can I ask a question on that? So I think maybe what people are saying now is either, I don't know if everyone feels that they're equipped to know what to do.
No, that's not what they said, because that wasn't the question I asked. Right? If that was the answer, then somebody would stand up and say that. Right? So this one time, this is your chief, and he loves you, but he can't save you today. Good try. And, okay, because I can't take a reason. If you feel like you're not equipped, well, why not? And what the hell are you going to do about it? So hey, anybody familiar with the Central Park 5? If you're from New York, you're probably familiar. Hell, if you're a black male, you're probably familiar. Central Park 5 is the 5 gentlemen who were wrongly accused of raping a jogger in Central Park in 1989. And they went to jail for various events, and recently they were exonerated. And they actually refer to themselves now as the Exonerated 5. And so there's a 4-part series called When They See Us, about their journey. And then at the end, Oprah Winfrey did she kind of did like what we did this morning, right? She was just kind of trying to be like us. She did a show, and she interviewed all of them. And during the discussion, she said, I know this is a hard discussion to have. And one of them responded, "You're right, this is an extremely hard discussion to have, but it's necessary." This is a hard discussion to have, but it's necessary. So you gotta dig a little deep down inside and answer that question for yourself. You don't answer it for me. Don't answer it for Matt. Don't answer it for Simon. Our Aaron are crying out for help. He said, we don't feel like either we're not equipped or we just are too busy or it's not our job or whatever. Right? I won't make an excuse for you. I just tell you, man, you got to dig deep. Whatever you think you're doing, whatever all of us might feel like we're doing, this is what I'll tell you, and I'll get off this. It's not enough. Whatever you think you're doing is not enough.
Chief, Jessica Taylor, Chief Master Sergeant Second, First Jessica Taylor. Can I tell you, wasn't expecting this, wasn't even expecting to be in the same space with you, but Jessica didn't do enough, and I'll tell you my quick story. Senior Airman Elijah Micaiah Boyd Evans, 4 February 2019, my son, committed suicide on that date, Houston Air Force Base, Alaska. And I mentioned my name first because as far as I'm concerned, I'm his mother. And he would reach out often concerning challenges that he was having in this culture. And I would give mom advice, but try not to overstep as a chief. And I'll tell you that there is not a moment that goes by where I question what could I have done differently? Who could I have called? What could I have said? Did it matter that I didn't want to mom him? He would have been 24 years old in March, shortly thereafter. Did it matter that I was chief and didn't want to create anything in his chain of command that would, because he was already kind of getting crap. You know, hey, your mom's the chief, what are you going to do, call her? And to your point, sir, you still get left feeling like it's never enough. And when I met his chief afterwards, we flew out there for a memorial service and to escort him home. The first thing she said was, "Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me?" So I'll share with you that we say it cliche for all the reasons. If you see something, say something. And to everything that everybody was saying here to this point, from the human aspect of it, if I have any regrets, the uniform shouldn't have mattered. If I had any regrets, the fact that I was a chief master sergeant, or am a chief master sergeant, should have made a difference. Vehicle maintainer, I had to have my conversation with Command Chief Anderson where he and I go way back. It's, as a recruiter, I remember saying, "You want to go to maintenance? You sure? I know you. I know your heart. I know that culture. You sure you want to go to maintenance?" And it wasn't until I was sitting there maybe 2 days later where I had to question Jessica, a chief master sergeant, 13 years on active duty, now 12 years in the Air National Guard, so you knew this. You knew this was a problem. You warned your son about whatever you guys see every day and people deal with every day. And did you do enough? February 4th, 2019. So I'll leave you with that as far as it being a necessary conversation. Thank you, sir.
It's our nature to hear that times it would really benefit us. Just listen. Just listen. I'm guilty of the same thing. You present me with a situation, a problem, a scenario, I immediately begin to figure out how to dissect it. I immediately begin to try to figure out how to make her feel better. To figure out who's to blame for this. Is the maintenance, is the system, is the BMT, is the da, 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 da. You don't remember anything today. Just listen. What do people in the Air Force say about your product?
Sergeant Gates, 343rd Recruiting Squadron. All the time we get feedback that they don't listen, they have no discipline, they don't care, look out for themselves. Even though through our development through the delayed entry program, as they come into the Air Force, we are developing them, we are mentoring them, we're seeing that they're successful going into basic training, and then somehow we find a disconnect between that and the product that our NCOC when they get onto the actual job. That's the feedback that I get from my airmen coming back to me after they've been on the job for a year, 2 years. That's what I hear, that's what I see.
That was a relatively straightforward question. What do people, your peers, people out of the Air Force say to you about your product?
One of the things that I've heard on a regular basis is how did airmen so make it to this point in time? How did they make it here through the recruiting process and maybe basic military training? Why are they?
Okay. Okay, let me ask it another way. Who knows what people are saying about your product?
Chief Sergeant, 331st Recruiting Squadron, yesterday there was a post on one of the websites about how recruiters are getting it wrong, that we're running people through the process, we're not necessarily lining up the right people with the right product at the end of the day, right job at the end of the day, that we're getting this wrong. We've got the right people in the wrong places, and honestly.
You know what they're saying or do you not know what they're saying? You know what they're saying? You don't really know what they're saying. I might not look like it, but I can't fight. I gotta like pick somebody to just punch shit out of us so we can get this part started. I can do that.
Yes, we hear those things, but we also hear the most diverse and most innovative and most professional airmen as well. So that comes out the top.
Hey man, my question was simple. Do you know what they're saying or do you not? Right, so most of you, when I said do you know, only maybe 10% of you raise your hand. Why do you think I'm asking this? Why would this even be important?
You should understand what happens after we're done with the mission. We should know where it's going from here.
And if you don't know, why is that? Now listen, so that you can make sure that there's alignment, right? That we're all aligned, that we're all thinking the same thing, that we're all preaching the same thing, we're all teaching the same thing, we're all reinforcing the same things. Now I'm going to say something to you, and you're going to get mad, but not really my problem. Because I know you're busy. I know you have a very demanding job. I know you have a lot of space to cover. And I know you have a lot of administrative things. And I know that you have to get out there and you have to beat the path and you have to sell. And you have to find that small percentage of people that can and that we want to join our Air Force. Who was born a recruiter? I didn't think so. So before you got into this business, you know how busy the rest of the Air Force is too. So you ain't no busier than nobody else. So if you were thinking to yourself, hey, when am I supposed to have time to make all these phone calls, to connect with all these people, to get out to the bases and try to understand how people see my product, what adjustments I should make. If you're thinking, well, my chief didn't tell me to go do that. If you're thinking that's not in my job description. So when am I supposed to have time to do that? Let me tell you something about us human brainers. We make time for what's important to us. And if you're not in a constant state of observe, orient, decide, act, and really assess. You're not in a constant state of assessing in all the various forms. How do you know what you should improve upon? Like, how do you take that feedback? You said, people saying, we got it right, we got the right people, but we got it in the wrong career field. So what are you doing about it? Hey man, thanks for your interest in national security, but my job is to get in. What I would hope that you would say is, that's interesting. Tell me more. Give me some examples. Give me some data on what it is that you're talking about. Okay, I can see how that makes sense to you. Let me call 4 or 5 or 6 of my buddies up and see what their take is on this. Why don't we do some research, some analytics, some modeling, some surveying, and let's figure out if there's any validity to what they're saying about my product, because I got a lot of pride in my product. And you may say, man, you know what? They're right. Or you may say, hey man, again, I can see how you can say it, but let laid out to you what the data and facts say. Again, I appreciate it. What are you good at? So, hey, Centeno, man, like in the grand scheme of things, he's like questions wise, he's a softball. He's a like. What are you good at? Just being a dad. Coaching baseball. Anybody work?
Recruiting.
Being on time. Come on, talk to me, man. Yeah, talk to me, man. He's in recruiting. What else? Talking to people. Inspiring. Time management. Selling. Motivating. Sharing your life.
Listening.
Lying. Okay, how do you know? How do you know this?
Feedback, sir.
Feedback from who?
From peers or from subordinates, sir.
From peers or subordinates, and that makes it so?
In one perspective, sir.
Yeah. Reviews? From what kind of reviews? Applicants? Ones that got in and ones that didn't. Results? Results speak for themselves. What are you not so good at? You're like, oh. Taking criticism.
Slowing down.
Slowing down. Adapting.
Being humble.
Humility, being humble.
Seeking help.
Seeking help.
Personal responsibility.
Work-life balance, what'd you say?
Taking personal responsibility.
Taking personal responsibility. Beating yourself up.
Taking personal time.
Taking personal time. How do you know this? There you go. You notice when I ask for strengths, ain't nobody say my wife. When you ask for weaknesses, oh, my wife. That was the only answer.
You get feedback from her.
Yeah. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 is, hey man, I'm just doing enough to make the quota and get it done, man. Get these people in, and, 10 is cooking with fish grease. I'm in the zone. I'm performing optimally the best that, like I gotta work really hard to get any more out of me. Where are we? 6, 8, 10, 13. How do you know? Wife ain't tell you that. How do you know?
Wife will show you.
Your reflection of your product.
How? Do you know? Like, so this is a conversation you can have with yourself from here. Because it's easy to sit in this room, right? You guys already have a little bit of It's easy to sit here and say 9, 10. She said 13. But we wake up looking in the mirror every morning. Can you honestly say, man, like I'm giving it everything. I'm giving it everything that I got. Then you gotta ask, right? I don't got a lot of hard questions. Why not? And what should I be doing about it? And it's just like when you travel, right? Very first thing you got to do is orient yourself on the map. Where am I? Before I decide where I can get to, I got to decide. I got to first figure out where I am. And just like with your smartphone, we make it easy for you. Like you don't have to plot out where you are. When you open up Waze or Google Maps, a little blue circle, like just automatically gives you this level of confidence that I'm here. But for us as human beings, there's no blue circle. You gotta figure that out. Like what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How do I validate this is actually just because applicants told me, just because my peers told me? My peers tell me a lot of stuff. Don't mean it's so. That helps me determine through the various multiple ways that we receive feedback, spouse, peers, applicants, results, assessments. Now I can decide, man, I kind of thought I was good at this, but it turns out that I'm actually not. And to be the best version of myself, to be the best recruiter, I really need to work on it. And here's my plan. Who right now can pull up on your computer, your notebook, or your cell phone, your 1, 2, and 5-year plan for professional growth and development? That includes what education you're going to get, what books you're going to read, what certifications you need, what jobs that you want to take, how you plan to keep yourself whole, physically, mentally, spiritually. Who's got that written down? Who can just jump on the computer and email it to me real quick? I just want to use that as an example.
I have a video, sir.
You got a video? Okay. So we got 1, 2 people. For the rest of us, again, these questions. You know, why not? Like, I used to think that I got better through just osmosis. Like when I wake up tomorrow, I'll just be like a little bit closer to the excellence. But I gotta work on it, man. I gotta work on me, and I gotta have a plan, right? I can't just jump up and be like, okay, I think today I might work on, what's that? Emotional intelligence. That's cool. I'll do that. Like I gotta know what things I need to work on to become the better version of myself, so that I can put that in my plan, and I can be deliberate about the little time that I do have. The little time that I do have, I can be deliberate about how I spend it. Who's putting your mask on first? Who's doing a good job? So 1 to 10, right? Some stuff, just arithmetic, not even arithmetic. What do you call it? Just plot. Y'all is just guessing. 1 to 10. 1, man, I'm sick, I'm unhealthy, my spiritual, mental, physical is just in the dumps. And 10, I'm in the best shape. I'm the most resilient that I can be. 1 to 10, where are you? 7, 8, 5. Okay. Give me some examples. Somebody who said it was like 8 or something like that. Tell me about it. Yeah.
Bono from the 369 Recruiting Squadron, California. My first year, so we all talk about how the first year in recruiting is one of the hardest year, but I managed to still come to work, put a smile on my applicants. That's what I'm good at. That's why I enjoy going to work, because I'm able to smile, make them smile, and they're happy to come in my office. Most of them,
Yeah.
always wanting to, but that's what goes to my day. That's what makes me feel like I'm resilient.
Yeah. So my first year, I was smiling too. And y'all were smiling. I was like, man, he's good. Listen to Jesus, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was smiling. In December, I started in February 17. In December 17, I was smiling until I did that. Because I wasn't eating right, I wasn't exercising, I wasn't praying, I wasn't meditating, I wasn't using my circle, I wasn't connecting with my wife. I was smiling though, and everybody else was smiling. So I feel you, but that don't tell me that you take care of you. Because sometimes, and we all do this, and we learn to do this as young men and women. I'm not talking about this mask. I'm talking about this one. See, we all wake up, we learn to wake up and put on this mask. I hate this job. I hate these people. I didn't ask to be a recruiter. I didn't ask to be in maintenance. But it's what I got to do, so let me go in here and fake it till I make it. You go in here and pretend and be a good airman. Deep down, I'm dying inside. So I want to know, tell me that age, tell me what that looks like. Like tell me what you're doing that puts you in that category of being a resilient airman at this level of 8. Can I have one of these?
Absolutely, Chief.
Sergeant Lopez, 362 Operations in Orange, California. I'm an 8 because I made my darkest hour my strongest strength. I'm not going to go deep into what happened because it's hard to talk about. But nobody ever brings me down. And I carry that smile and I make myself strong. But I don't let nobody pull me down and those around me who I see down, I try to bring them back up.
Just this.
Tech Sergeant Rodriguez with the 361st Recruiting Squadron. Why I made myself an 8 is because I was getting really stressed out. I'm doing really well in my job, I'm succeeding, but I noticed that all the stress and pressure was coming down on me. So I actually went to mental health, talked to somebody, and I knew it wasn't going to ruin my career, and I'm actually helping some of my other coworkers actually go and do it, because it will help a lot.
Just listen. And when you hear that term, you think just listen to them. What I learned in my first year in this job, I was listening to them. I was listening to you. You want me to get rid of this? Boom, it's gone. listening to? My body. I wasn't listening to my spirit. I wasn't listening to this man is powerful. Because this is simple. Now this is, I'm going to call this philosophy, even though it's simple. You don't take care of you, you can't take care of you. You don't take care of you, you can't take care of them. Them, the people that's crying out for help, that's saying, I need you, that's saying, I'm hurting, that's saying, I'm thinking about harming myself, that's saying, I don't fit in, that's saying, please help me. If you don't take care of yourself, this is what I imagine a day in the life of any leader in our United States Air Force. I don't care what your job is, any leader. This is what all of our days should look like. And if your day doesn't look like this, get your butt up in the morning and look in that mirror. Hey, Sarge, can I talk to you for a minute? Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, you mind explaining to me how you made it through? Hey, can you look at my EPR? Hey, can you look at my records? Hey, you got time for a coffee? Hey, how did you overcome this challenge? Hey, could you come to my softball game? Because that's what we do, right? As leaders, we pour into ourselves so that we can pour into others. They're looking to plug into you all day, Springfield. Every day, all day. But what happens when there's nothing in the tank? When you don't have nothing to give? When you don't have energy? When you don't have expertise? When you haven't been reading? When you haven't been growing? We gonna give. I don't know if y'all wanted to talk about recruiting or not. But this is what I tell you. One of my favorite books is called Legacy. And it's about the New Zealand All Blacks, the most accomplished, really the most accomplished sports team, but certainly the most accomplished rugby team in the history of the world. It's laden with phenomenal culture and leadership philosophy. One of the philosophies of the All Blacks is good people make good All Blacks. Good people make good All Blacks. Good people make good recruits. So I'm happy to get into recruiting this, what do we think, how do I see it, I'm happy to get into all of it. But I think if we all begin with that premise, good people make good recruiters. And so the most important thing that you can do for this nation, the most important thing that you can do for this Air Force, a young lady, and this is I like this. You remember yesterday doing General Wilson's comments, and the young lady said, hey, how do we square up this idea that we should be taking better care of ourselves when we have this core value that says service before self? Tell me what you thought. Or were you in it? Did you see my sheet? Yeah. What'd you think? Because he did a Sammy Davis Jr. on it. Tap that slab. Oh, yeah. I was going to get up and help him, but I was like, no, man, sometimes you just gotta. I love you, Lord.
Chief Sergeant Kesey out of 361st Recruiting Squadron, Washington. We actually just had a little bit of a conversation on that in the previous briefing with our Chiefs panel, and then Sergeant Lynch and I were talking about it a little bit. I have a concern that there's a question about our core values. Not that there is a question, but to me, a core value, without even being in the Air Force, I'm not in the Army, and I understand what duty and honor means. But if there's a question, what does service before self mean? Then I think we need to look at that core value and identify, is it accurate to what we still wanted to represent from when it was first established? Because if we have to sit and explain the purpose behind it, is it easy to believe in it as a core value? That's my philosophy now. And I think there's opportunity to discuss maybe change or what's the best way of addressing that concern as we move forward.
So I agree. I'm a simple guy. Anybody got core values, look it up. This is what I think. It takes too long. It takes too much shit. Right? Integrity, service, excellence. I personally think we should drop the before self. Integrity. Everybody knows what service is. And then we should take one page to say, this is how this applies to us as Aaron. Boom. Like, we just make things too complex sometimes. Now, the naysayers, mostly our chiefs, our peers, will say, no, man, that's our history, that's our culture, that's our tradition. Thousands, maybe millions of years ago, what determined which species survived and which ones didn't? Evolution, the strongest.
Those that adapted?
The most adapted. Not evolution, not the strongest, the most adapted. Like, so we sometimes settle into this, it's our history, it's our culture. I mean, yeah, but shit don't work. You gotta change it. You gotta adapt to the changing times. You name 5 airmen that can tell me anything out of that blue look. 5. I'm 5 in the whole Air Force that ain't in basic training. That can tell you anything if the subtext of the core values in that blue book. I give you $100 if you can name 5. If you can go out here on the break and find 5 NCOs, 5 senior NCOs. I know people. I want to change that Just saying.
Chief Sergeant again, I think it's a matter of perspective, sir, because
Going back to the core values and our perspective, because it's not just service to the country, it's not just a job, it's service to ourselves, it's service to our family, it's service to you, to our sons and daughters, service to the airmen. It's more than just the job itself. So I think it's, when you look at it, it's just from what perspective are you looking at the core value? And you just then don't look at a core value just from one angle. It has to be looked from the 3 angles.
Yeah. But my original point was, you got to square up this hey, I need to be able to take care of me in order to take care of them. Listen to that thought. I have to take care of me so that I can take care of them. I'm gonna give you 2 buckets and you put it in a bucket for me. That statement makes me selfless or selfish. All right, so that's the thing we struggle with. Because what I hear from you and your colleagues and your teammates all the time is, yeah, man, I ain't worried about me. I got to take care of it. When I'll get me later. As soon as I make sure my camera's squared away, get out. As if it's impossible, as if it's impossible to say, you know what, man, I'm going to make sure that I'm in the best condition that I can be in so that I can actually take care of it. Because I can't be going in there half-cocked with my second string self trying to take care of it. What I learned to do somebody said they were good at organization. I learned to do 2 things. I learned to master the morning. Ain't nobody looking at me at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Nobody. Ain't nobody on sending me messages, or ain't nobody asking me to have coffee, or ain't nobody need my time at that time. So that's mine. I master it. That was relatively easy for me. Even though, I like a good cigar in the skies. I stay up later than I should. The other thing that I mastered, I won't say I mastered it, I'm working on it. Is that a half finger? Had to learn how to say no, man. Right? That's hard for me. But everything comes at a cost. Everything you say yes to, that means something else ain't gonna get done. The more speeches that I accept and say yes to, which means the more traveling I have to do, and the more preparation and energy and effort that goes into speaking, which I love, which I'm passionate about, the less time I spend with my wife, the less time I get to work on resiliency, the less time I get to work on reforming our performance management system, the less time I get working with individuals like yourselves on the challenges that you might be having. And as you remember, it just is. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And I wasn't that comfortable, and I'm still not really that comfortable with saying no. This is what I do. And you can do this when you got people. You got people?
Yes, sir.
I got people. Hey, Chief, can you come speak at our CNCO induction? Oh, man, let me get with my people, man, and see if we can get on the counter. That's the way I gotta say no. Now, this is what smart people do. I won't say dumb people do the opposite. Because I don't call anybody dumb. But this smart people do. Hey, Chief told me to call you, and he said that he was all in for speaking at our senior institute induction. And he just wanted me to talk to you to get it on the calendar. He said that? Yeah, he said that. He told me. I saw him at the DX yesterday. He was like, yeah, I can do it. Just call my people. And then I get fussed at. Chief, I told you to stop telling these people you're going to listen to that. You know you ain't going to be able to. What are you talking about? Who is this? Other people ain't call you dumb or not smart. They call and say, yeah, I ran the chief. He wanted me to check. By the time you get the check, they be like, no. He can't make it. He busy, he ain't gonna do it. Just inside the secret. Hey man, y'all got any questions for me? I know we're running short on time though.
Chief, Senior Helm, Pro Super 332. So talking about putting people where they need to be and getting the right person for the right job. Is there any thoughts into changing the DSD system?
Man, we're always changing the DSD system. We're always trying to get this right, and your leadership really has a lot of leeway into, determining how we source, recruiters. And so, I leave it to Matt and Sonia to kind of determine, because some of your other colleagues, like Manny Pinheiro with the first sergeant, he just took him out and he just said, hey, we out of the DSD business. And all I asked him, just like I would ask him, is, hey man, just make sure you understand the consequences. Just make sure you understand the reason that we went into DSD is because we could not get enough first sergeants. So consider all the options that are available to you. What I think is, because I'm huge on, I don't like, this might not be good, because it's me, right? I don't like standardization. I don't like that, everybody's got to do the same thing. We got the system, and everybody's got to, I like flexibility, I like creativity, I like innovation, I like being able to expand. So if it's me, I would say, okay, hey, let's put our brains together and see what we think works best. I'd much rather have somebody who wants to be a recruiter and who meets the requirements, and I want them in my program. So let me allow them to volunteer through, what's the thing we used to use? AMS. What's the part, AMS part? The Eagle Plus. You can tell that I ain't good. And then if I can't get what I need from that, okay, now there's a pool of people who are waiting through the DSD process, and I'll fill it for them. Yeah. I ain't always that good, but I try not to be too heavy-handed when it comes to stuff like this. My goal is to hire the right people, give them the resources. If you need a yay or a nay from me, or if you need money, I ain't really got no money. I'm going to tell you the story. When I was a U.S. Command Chief, I ain't have people, but I had money. And when I needed something, Chief, when you need to ride back, give me about 30 minutes. It's already got your favorite password on it, all your stuff programmed and loaded. Oh, you need a new couch in your office so when people come in, you can sit down and talk to them about it. Hold on. I got to depend on it. Saying. I don't think I'll be traveling with this big old giant laptop. I don't even think that's a thing anymore. So I just take iPad, little baby iPad, nothing special. They go, oh well, we don't have to go through Saturday and get the authorization, and it'll probably take about 3 or 4 months. I'll give you whatever you need, but I got no. What else? Yeah.
Started with emergency healthcare at Vietnam, works in the and I heard some rumors of possible PT, physical fitness test, like maybe changes down the road. And I was just curious.
I thought I was going to get out of here. Let me tell you what my philosophy about this. I wish we would imagine an Air Force without a PT test. Like there was no such thing as a PT test. Now you're probably thinking, holy crap, that'd be like The Walking Dead. I mean, I don't know if we can survive as a force. That's Avengers Endgame. Like people were just But what I think is, now we have to do our jobs. Like if I'm responsible in your job now, or in your job before you came here, you took pride in making sure that the airmen in your charge were good technicians, engineers, logisticians, maintainers, medics, operators, defenders, intelligence analysts, linguists, whatever it is, you took great pride in, like my people, oh, they're gonna know. And if there was a gap in there somewhere, you said, okay, Springfield, this is what we're gonna do to make sure that you can get up to speed so that you can deliver mission on time, on target, and be good at it because, man, we're the Wolverines. And in this squadron, we have pride in the way we do that. Imagine if I said, and part of that pride in being a Wolverine is, man, you got to be in shape. And you got to be fit. And you got to be healthy. And you got to eat right. And you got to get the right amount of sleep. And I'm going to make sure that that happens to all the airmen under my charge. Imagine if we all thought like that. That's supposed the way we think now. And where I want, you can take off when you want to, you can probably work out in the morning, because what we got back here, we got donuts, we got whatever. It's always cake, right? Air Force, we love cake. I ain't never been to one ceremony in the Air Force in 31 years, man, that they have cake. And as long as you pass the test, we're going to call you good. Not really sure if you're fit and healthy enough to be doing this. I'm looking at you, you're kind of pudgy, but pass the test, we're going to call you good. So what I would like us to do is stop thinking about and worrying about this freaking test. And spend more time thinking about how do I ensure my airmen are fit, healthy and fit all throughout the year. And take it personal. You should be saying, hey, Chief, I'm going to ask this question just because I'm obliged to, but really, whatever little funky test you put out there, my people can pass it anytime, any day, any place. So feel free to make whatever changes you want, because we go. Like that's the same discussion we should be having about resilience. That's the same discussion we should be having about professionalism. Because if by some miraculous proclamation, wax testing disappeared for senior airmen and staff sergeants. Now we're back to Ender's game or end game, whatever. You're going to make sure your airmen understand how the Air Force works. You're going to make sure your airmen understand the history of our Air Force. You're going to make sure they understand if it started raining outside, which one of them 5 flags they should put up. You will, because that's your responsibility as an NCO or senior NCO. But that's too much like science fiction. So we're going to do a couple of things with the little funky stupid test to make it easier for you. We've been looking at, I'll just tell you this one thing. We've had, and I'm going to be serious for a minute, so we've had, anybody from Shaw? So we've had a string of deaths centered around fitness. It just so happens that I think 2 of the airmen at Shaw had sickle cell trait. And we just had another airman, Eglin, that passed away after a fitness test. One of the things that we found is because we don't think like what I talked about earlier, that hey, all year is my responsibility to make sure that you're fit and healthy. And because we, as the Air Force, have made the PT test so punishing. Like you can fail a qualifier, you can fail your CDCs, you can be late in upgrade training, you can discharge a weapon, and you be in better shape than if you fail your PT test. Like failing the PT test is a big fucking deal. Like we made it such a big deal. That's why people go to such great lengths. Preparation agent, plastic, starving themselves, trying all these different things to just, hey man, I'll do anything not to fail that damn test. And because we do the tape and the run and the push-ups and sit-ups on the same day, imagine you starve yourself, you do all this unhealthy stuff because that's 20 points, man. And now you try to go out here and run. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to try to create some separation between when you take it and when you do the other components of your test. Army does this. Up to 30 days. So you can take today and then have 30 days before you have to complete the other components. Again, at the end of the day, if you're not living a healthy lifestyle, if you're not working out, if fitness is not a part of your ethos, might make a difference in life. And there's 2 or 3 other things that to me. So I would say let's all start with the first premise. Because we talked earlier about before I can take care of them, I got to take care of me. So the first premise is, hey man, it doesn't matter what career field I am, I'm in the Air Force. And I'm supposed to be in shape. And I don't need a cookie. And I don't need a big stick over my head to motivate me to go out and work out. Like I'm supposed to be fit and healthy. That's part of who I am. That's like walking into a glove. And then on top of that, we decide, and I'm responsible for these 3. Guess what? They're gonna be fit and healthy too. You ain't gotta like it. We could change our culture. Well, you know where culture change is most effective from? Not policy, not, because let me give you 2 scenarios. One scenario says, we decide no more PT tests, let's just get rid of it and whatever. And leave it up to you guys to create a healthy and fit force. These people don't want to work out. We have to test and we get validated. Right now, there ain't no accountability. PT tests hold them accountable, or who do they work for? Like when they fail something on the job, do you need an outside, you need a test to hold them accountable? That's one scenario. We policy our way out of this. The second thing is you all decide that, hey man, fitness is important, fitness is where it's at, and we're going to be the most healthy and fit force. One little piece at a time. And then one day we looked up and was like, hey man, the average score on Air Force fitness test is like a 98. We hadn't had an airman fail a PT test in 4 years. Why are we still doing this? That's how you get culture change. Now, I'm not advocating that we get rid of PT tests. I know we need PT tests. The Department of Defense mandates us to test you once a year, right? So we're not going to get rid of this. But what I'm saying is you should be thinking the test is not going to hold my people accountable. I will. I'll lead by example. Now, and this is where I need you as leaders to be cognitive leaders. Because if I said right now, okay, we're going to suspend PT testing for a year, it's up to you to make sure your people are fit and be prepared for a random inspection or whatever. You know what most of you and your commanders would do? Okay, mandatory PT every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30. CDC doesn't open until 6:30, so I can't get there until, well, enact your family care plan. And because you love standardization so much, it wouldn't even cross people's mind that, okay, no problem. Either we'll start it early, we're moving around before we even come up with this idea to have mandatory PT at 6:30. Why don't we figure out what time the CDC opens, how many folks we have that have kids, and make sure that we don't inconvenience or make sure that we don't make this too hard for anybody in the unit. We got a morning session, we got an afternoon session. We're going to bring in Billy Blanks and we're going to be doing. When I went to Senior Seal Academy, we had, I know we got to go get that. When I went to Senior Seal Academy, we had these, anybody been to Senior Seal Academy? So we had these categories. You had rabbits, and then you had turtles, and then you had about 4 groups in between. And it was based on, it wasn't that scientific, but it was based on your run time. So you run really fast, you're going to get up here with the rabbits. And they have workouts and stuff that are suited for rabbits. My pride put me into the rabbits. Wasn't pretty. And if you are struggling, you're going through stuff, you're on some type of profile, you're in the turtles, and there were workouts designed for, and then once a week, once every 2 weeks, we did just a class formation run. You know, nice, slow pace, everybody could be involved. I took that, I went right back to my unit and said, this is how we're going to do PT. Instead of it, because you know what it is, when you try to have group PT, and if I'm a rabbit and we out here playing kickball, I'm like, hey man, I don't want to waste my fitness time playing freaking volleyball. And if you got Billy Blanks and you doing like mud runs and Trojan runs and all that, you're like, hey dude, I just had a baby, I'm coming off ankle surgery, I can't be doing all that. So somebody's motivated, somebody's demotivated. Right? Sorry, I'm making it tactical. Hey, I enjoyed this. Thank you guys for what you do. Remember what we talked about. Just listen. Just listen. And whatever you feel like you're doing, what I will tell you, and this applies to me, Chief, and all of our peers and this entire Air Force, it's not. I'm connected to your leadership, both in the Pentagon and here in San Antonio, and they let me know what you need and what things are bugging you. You have very good representatives, and so I want you to feel comfortable that if you have issues or concerns that need to be voiced, they obviously have a direct line to me, and they don't have any issue with using it and getting after things that matter the most to you guys. Thank you for what you do. I try to give you a little verbal massage, right? You know, when you get a massage, you're like, man, this guy just double off in my back. And then you walk out, you're like, okay, I kind of need that. But I do appreciate what you do. I know how challenging it is to be a recruiter. I know the challenges that you have with your Tier 2 and your Tier 3 recruiters. So thank you for what you do. I really do appreciate it. You guys enjoy the rest of your conference. Thank you.
I have an individual that just want to give you something as a token of our appreciation for spending a few minutes with us.
Okay, so we're still gonna try to take a picture outside?
Yes.
What time is my thing start?
Chief, be quick, just want to thank you in front of my leaders and my peers for your humbling message. And I want to thank you for being the exclamation point for the enlisted force. We will listen and we will execute. So on behalf of the Air Force Recruiting Service, I heard you have a desk